can't even pick my favourites. A bit of female rage. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video, or welcome if you're here for the first time. I'm Ray, what Ray reads, follow me on Instagram. And in today's video, I did a video of book recommendations for 1989 Taylor's version, where I went through and gave a book recommendation for each song. And I said if that video was received well, I'd do the vault tracks because I'd filmed it prior to the vault tracks being released. Hello Mabel, sit. Mabel's a Taylor Swift fan apparently. Forgive me, I'm trying to do this while I'm also looking after the dogs. Mabel seems to want to be a part of the video, so you may hear dog noises or attention-seeking behaviours in the video. So this video is probably going to be a bit shorter than the last one because we've only got 5 vault tracks. I love them all. I can't even pick my favourites. I do love Suburban Legends. It's got a special place in my heart, but I like them all. I just can't pick. I can't pick.
Oh my god, it's like Sophie's Choice.
So before we get into the book recommendations, I bought the vinyl. Isn't she stunning? Sorry. Yeah, this is the gorgeous vinyl. Absolutely stunning, gorgeous.
So stunning, isn't it? She's absolutely stunning.
And I'm pretty sure the vinyl is aquamarine, which is what she says in the song. Gorgeous.
You're so gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely stunning. Look at that. I also have the Midnight's vinyl. I don't have the other vinyls, but I do want to collect them all. Go on, go back in your sleeve. Go back in your sleeve. There we go. Yeah, I had to get that because it's just absolutely stunning. So yeah, let's get into the songs. So the first song we've got is Splash, which before I listened to the song, I thought it'd be more of an upbeat song, but we've got more of a melancholic reflection. When I say the word melancholy, it reminds me of the clip of Jake Gyllenhaal correcting a director. I'll put the clip in.
She has a touch of melancholy once in a while.
It's melancholy.
Oh, it's
Dan.
melancholy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Slut, which I thought would be upbeat, it's actually more of a melancholic, reflective song
Melancholy.
where she's acknowledging the slut shaming that's going on for her in the media, and she's saying that she'd take on the sexist narratives if it meant that she could stay with this person, and the language that she uses in the lyrics is very cinematic. We've got a lot of like cinematic lyrical imagery where she says aquamarine and tangerine, Sunrise Boulevard, and then she says being this young is art. And when I was listening to the song, it reminds me of kind of like a hazy Los Angeles summer, and it instantly reminded me of Eve Babitz and Joan Didion's writing, because they wrote at a time of 60s and 70s and also 80s California, and it's got a really, it's probably nostalgic for them, but for us it's very romanticised, and it reminded me of those writers. So the book I pick for that is Sex and Rage by Eve Babitz. I actually haven't read this one yet. I've read her other book, Black Swans, which is short stories set in a similar period. Oh my god, sorry for the lighting. Why do I always have issues with the lighting? Sorry, this is what we've got to work with. It's like a very overcast day here in the UK.
Oh really? That sucks.
And the lighting is either too dull or too bright. One of the reasons I can't stand the UK is the weather. So yeah, I picked Sex and Rage by Eve Babitz, and the reason why, I haven't read this one, but it's set in 1970s Los Angeles, and it's very sun and surf, swept into the dazzling culture of beautiful people floating around on a cloud of drink, drugs and men, and I just thought that sounds very cinematic, and if it's similar to Black Swans, then that has a very similar imagery, the way it's written. It's nostalgic for us even though we didn't live in it, and I think Taylor's very good at creating nostalgic lyrics and imagery in her songs. It's also about female liberation, and I think there wouldn't be so much slut shaming for female stars because there's never any slut shaming for the male counterparts.
I said it, I'm not taking it back.
If we had true, female liberation, but we don't. I feel like Taylor's got a bit of female rage.
Good for her.
because of the way she's treated in the media with the double standards and the sexist tropes. So, Sex and Rage, I just thought, slut.
She's a slut and she knows it. She wants to root all the boys.
The next song is Say Don't Go.
Say, don't go.
And the book I picked for that is You Exist Too Much by Zaina Arafat, and I recently just read this and I really loved it. And in Say Don't Go, I feel like she's talking about the complexities of relationships and the longing that you feel when it's coming to an end. She wants to say don't go and hoping that'll save the relationship. It's about the inner anxieties within the relationship, and she wants to be reassured because she's feeling that she's not on stable ground. And You Exist Too Much follows a similar sort of wavelength of the character. She's a Palestinian American woman. She's a queer woman and she's in various relationships. They're not fulfilling for her and she doesn't feel secure in them because she discovers that she's a love addict. So she's trying to work on her own problems, but also she needs more reassurance to feel secure in the relationship. In the song and in the book as well, I feel like it's clouded by anxiety and fear of not trusting someone in a relationship, so not being able to fully give yourself to that person. And as we know, Taylor captures these feelings all too well. Alexa, play All Too Well, Taylor's version. And yeah, so the book deals with similar themes of that. So if you want a complex female character, a queer love story, this is the book for you. The next song is Now That We Don't Talk, and the book I pick for that is The Mothers by Britt Bennett.
But I guess I don't have a say. Now that we don't talk.
An absolutely stunning cover and a stunning book as well. This book and also the song is a bit kind of, well, the book in particular is a coming of age story of a young girl, and she talks about what happened in her life when she was coming of age as an older teenager, and then it also goes into the future and looks back. He's twirling round to sit down about 10 times. The reason I picked this book for the song is because Now That We Don't Talk, it kind of feels like an ode to youth, to those youthful relationships and the way we uphold them as something otherworldly, or the first experiences that hurt the most, or we feel like they're very unique but they're very common and a lot of people experience them. But coming of age stories, they're very focused on first time experiences that make you or impact you a lot.
And from the outside it looks like you're trying lives on.
And in the book and the song, the focus on new experiences. Taylor writes about being in this all or nothing relationship and then it ending and they don't talk anymore, and it's just an unusual dynamic that you can be with someone for so long or have such a connection and a deep relationship, but then it's over and now they don't talk.
That's so upsetting.
So I picked this because it's coming of age, complex female characters, and Britt Bennett is very good at telling stories from complex women who are also people of colour, who I feel like don't get a lot of praise in the book community because it's very dominated by more complex female characters who are also white women, whereas I think Britt Bennett focuses on those same themes, but she focuses on them from a person of colour's perspective, which I think she's just a fantastic writer, so read that. The next two songs and the books I picked, I no longer have them in my collection. Well, I do have one, but I lent it to my auntie, so I don't have it to hold, and the other two I read and donated. The next song is Suburban Legends, which
We were born to be suburban legends.
I just love the suburban imagery and the worlds that are built in the suburbs because it's very normie, but I think the suburbs have got a lot of complexity and behind closed doors is very different. So the author, because I've got two books that I think would fit this, is Celeste. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, and she wrote Little Fires Everywhere and Everything I Never Told You. I think Everything I Never Told You fits the song better, but I also think Little Fires Everywhere is a good choice too because she writes very complex stories about family dynamics, but they're set in the suburbs. And in Suburban Legends, Taylor paints the extremes of relationships set in the suburbs. You've got the more normal life aspects with the suburban life, but then you've got the highs and lows and the complexities of a relationship. And the lyrics are very nostalgic. Dust there. They're very nostalgic, but also they feel like they're meant for something bigger. We were born to be suburban legends, she says.
We were born to be suburban legends.
Yeah, and like I said, Celeste, she pulls back the curtain on the realities and the more darker aspects of suburban life. You know that old saying, you never know what goes on behind closed doors, and I think she highlights that in her work. But her world building of the suburbs feels very familiar as well, and I think Taylor's kind of drawing into that with this, building a more secure suburban landscape to focus on the complexities of relationships and the dynamics. When she says TikTok, I pace down your block, I just live for that lyric.
Tick-tock on the clock, I pace down your block.
So yeah, check out Celeste Ng's 2 books, Little Fires Everywhere and Everything I Never Told You. And the final song that we have is It Over Now? And the book I picked for that is So Late in the Day by Keegan.
Baby, was it over then? And is it over now?
And I'm pretty sure in like a lot of my videos I mention a Keegan book because she's an author I discovered this year, and I really love her prose and the way she writes everyday life and characters in a very potent way. And in Is It Over Now, Taylor sings of the intimate moments in a relationship that she's looking back on now that it's over, and she's saying, is it over now? And I like that she also focuses again on the double standards of the relationship when she says, at least I had the decency to keep my nights out of sight, only whispers about my hips and thighs and my whispered sighs. So she's getting written up in the press for all of her relationships, which it's her choice if she wants to have many different relationships and suitors.
I said what I said!
Whereas it's celebrated or it's not written up about with her ex-partner. And in So Sorry again about the lighting, but we're going to have to work with it. And in Keegan's So Late in the Day, it's a very short book, but it packs a punch because it's from a one person's point of view and they're reflecting back on a relationship that ended. So they're focusing on the small moments that maybe did they break the relationship? Is that what ended the relationship? But she also does something really powerful, the way she focuses on the inner misogyny in a lot of relationships that, you know, you may not say it outright, but you have these expectations in a more heteronormative relationship where you're expecting something traditional from the female, or you'll be quick to be misogynistic if she did something you didn't like.
Right to jail, right away.
And she really highlights that very cleverly in the book. Yeah, so I've got this lighting and it's currently pouring down rain. Welcome to the UK. So yeah, I think both Is It Over Now and So Late in the Day really focus on the end of a relationship, but in reflections. So I think they're a great fit. I think 1989's vault tracks are really solid. I know a lot of people think they're the best vault tracks because on the other albums, Taylor's versions, not every song's a 10, where it feels like these 5 are really solid and a 10. So yeah, they were my book suggestions for 1989 Taylor's version vault tracks. Let me know if you have read the books or if you think a different book would suit the song more. And I hope you enjoyed the video. So yeah, I'll enjoy listening to 1989 Taylor's version. That's all I've been doing. It's my new personality. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!